Yes, here we are back again with another episode from Jedi's Invest. Quite a monumental episode this is going to be, by the way, listeners or viewers, as I will tell you all about in the upcoming hour or maybe upcoming 15 minutes. Shout outs first, of course, as always. Big shout outs to none other than Naveed, the navigator, the Bitcoin boy, the creationist. Big love to you and your lovely family. 3 girls to my 4 boys. Go on, son, do another one. Mikey, Mike. Is that Mickey from Mickey Mike, who's gone to the USA with Nicky Wiki Wiki Wacky? Thank you for your comments too. And the one and only Mr. Tony Lorden. For anyone who doesn't know, Mr. Tony Lorden was a marvellous English teacher through my secondary period at Beach and Cliff in England, and it was really great to receive a message from you, Tony. So thank you very much. Lots of love to you over the pond in good old Blighty. So episode 5. It's time to dive into some wildlife, sushi, Rinjani waterfalls, and city escapes. Now, I have to say, I do look like a bit of a reporter today. I'm holding the microphone because I just have no way I can attach the microphone stand on. We are still living out of suitcases, kind of. But we finally got here. Home sweet home, as you'll find soon, as I tell you more about what's been happening. But it's still a little bit all over the shop. I'm actually leaning on a load of boxes. It's my makeshift stand-up desk for the moment, and it's working quite well. So if I do collapse, then you know that cardboard hasn't been the best medium to get this started on. Right then, let's delve in, shall we, into all things Lombok, into all things un-Lombok, actually, shall I say. We've been on a few journeys over the last month. No more so, though. I must, first of all, again... with the backdrop of Mount Rinjani behind me, apologise not to mosquitoes or to octopuses, but to all Christians out there, especially devout ones with closed minds. I do sincerely apologise for likening my second oldest boy's pose. There he is on a surfboard to the Jesus Christ move. I didn't mean it in that way. It was just the shape. He holds it very well. But apologise if I did offend anyone of that ilk. It's certainly not what I intended to do. So there you go. There's my disclaimers and apologies out the way. Hopefully I won't make any more. But maybe I can, as you'll find out soon. The pick of stun then for this month. It has to be this one. Look at that. There she is in all her glory. Mount Rinjani, second biggest volcano active. In Indonesia, you know, there's a lot of volcanoes here, a lot of earthquakes. That's just kind of where we are. And Rinjani peaks at about 3,746 meters. So it's quite a climb. I was going to take Zach for his 10th birthday, you know, kind of coming of age or coming of double digits. Luckily, I didn't know because I've heard a lot from people. It is quite hard. We did some research. The documentaries show that, it's definitely one you wouldn't do after a night out with a load of beers. With your mates and flip-flops and just a t-shirt and swimming shorts. But anyway, this is a lovely little place at the base of the mountain that they've done. It really reminds me, if you look there, listeners, viewers, I mean, that could be Japan as well. Beautiful gardens, actually owned by a Chinese person. I didn't get to meet him, but it's very well done, and it had a lovely pool, bit cold though, at that time of the year that we were there. But it's just absolutely beautiful, and the backdrop's there. Did we climb Rinjani this time? No, we didn't. My excuse was I have 4 children, young children, and a beautiful wife. Let's just put it that way. Okay, moving on. There's the pick of stun, Mount Rinjani, Northern Lombok. World news then. Let's get this crap out the way. Oh, there we go. Former FTX box. I didn't try to commit fraud. No, maybe not. He might just be a pawn for some extortionate money. Extortion going through the systems there. I wonder if we'll ever find out exactly where all the money went. I'm sure we won't. Jiang Zemin there, the former Chinese premier, finally dead after, I think, 96 years. Interesting chap. Messi coming to light. Fake masterpiece. Prince William's godmother quits over remarks to a black charity boss. Sorry. You've got to be careful with your words these days, otherwise you just end up apologising every day. There's nothing wrong with a good apology. South African president looks like he's got some impeachment charges going against him. I don't know. Tried that with Trump for a long time. Fleetwood Mac, dies at the age of 79. And of course, we do have, forget the cricket, we do have the World Cup on. It feels very un-World Cuppy. I don't know if you agree at the moment. It's here, it's on late. I watched the highlights with the boys. Of course, we're in there for England and Japan. Monumental, beating Germany and Spain last night, losing to Costa Rica. Bit of a strange one, but then they move on. So we're in support of the Japanese and the English. Oh, wouldn't it be amazing if they could meet? That really would be crazy. And look at this, some bit of interesting, funny stories. Thai temple left without any monks after they all fail drug tests. There you go. And mass nude photos staged on a famous beach for skin cancer awareness. And of course, I ask you to tell me which country that was in. And goddamn right, it's where they put the shrimps on the barbie, mate. It is. We were careful where you put your hot shrimps on that day. It is in Australia. So well done to the Aussies for getting naked and being told what to do from a big megaphone. Okay. Raises awareness, I guess, which is what it's all about. I wonder what else it raises. Right, moving on. Bradshaw family updates then. Right, what do I say? Well, first of all, it's my birthday coming up, 20th December. So I look forward to, I don't know if it'll happen. Normally on the 20th December in the morning, I try to get out my front door, but I can't. We have to get the local forces around to remove all those amazing pile up of cards that I get. Yeah, right. But yes, 20th of December, and I will be... yeah, so there you go. What else is going on? It's not really an update, is it? Oh, yes. We've decided I'm thinking of putting the boys forward for the next Jungle Book premiere. That's Dad doing some training with the two youngest boys, seeing if they can pull some moves. Swing up on the trees and maybe talk to some snakes. It is quite clear, though, that Zach, my oldest one, whoever knows him, really does look like that, and Max is getting pretty similar too. This, by the way, my gosh, no beers are needed for this. There's a place in Kuta, Central Kuta, I found. I just went for a very quiet coffee to do my stuff, do my work stuff, and if you can see these stairs, beautiful wooden stairs, but what they seem to have done wrong or right, or maybe on purpose, is the angles here. The vertical angle is actually on a more of a kind of 45, 60 degree angle. So as you're going up the stairs, ladies and gentlemen, and this is me going down the stairs, when you're going down the stairs, it looks like you're going up the stairs. And when you're going up the stairs, it looks like you're going down the stairs. So I've never seen anything like it. It's like one of those wacky kind of places you go that they set up with like loads of mirrors and bizarre illusions. That definitely would be one of them. It's closed at the moment. Apparently they're not doing food or drinks, and I'm kind of wonder why, because I'm sure a few people would stack it when going down there after a few. And then, of course, Kai. We found this beautiful place, actually, a hotel come restaurant hangout that we found called Giovanna in Central Kuta again. Beautiful landscaping. He has about 11 tortoise. These guys can go to about 80 years of age. I think this one's probably about 15 years old. And look at that, nearly as big as Kai. So they're just walking around into the kitchen, walking around the grounds. So it's beautifully landscaped by, I think, Aussie guy called Steve. Maybe one day I can do some more on Giovanna, because they really have done a wonderful job. And the food is smashing as well. So another great place to go with friends and family, and even you maybe when you come over and see us one day. Right then, how do I start this? It's been really amazing doing all these vlogs. Whoever's crazy enough to watch them, I hope you've enjoyed them and have been inspired maybe in some way, or just maybe a bit of time out to relax and not think about lots of stressful things. But for me, it has been quite stressful. Been stressful putting them together, and as we've started to merge into life here in Lombok, it's becoming more difficult every time to do this, especially now with the work and the teaching stuff really starting to envelop us all. So what I'm going to say is this is the last episode. Quick, grab your tissues, or your I don't know, party bloomers or something, and jump up and down. This is going to be the last monthly episode. I cannot carry on. I have to put my hands up, and I have to say I can't do any more. This is the 5th one. I'm really pleased that we've done this, and I know the kids looking back when they're older, which is one of the main reasons I did it also, will really appreciate it, or maybe not if I embarrass them too much through it. But this is going to be the last one for now, and whether or not I start any more up, potentially, I'm sure at some point. There's just so much going on here, as you can imagine. New life, just new everything. That doing this at the end of every month, I'm really finding it hard to put it all together. So there you go. Enjoy the last show, and let's move on, shall we? In positive spirit. So where have we been this past month in November? We've been a lot of places. I think I did tell you in the last vlog that we were going on a road trip. And where were we going? Well, Sumbawa. Sumbawa was the place we took the motorbikes that we were preparing for last time I did the vlog. And if you see on this map here, we have the red pin is on Lombok. Okay, Lombok Island. This is where we are, down in the south. So we went over to the next island to the east. Look how big it is. It's massive compared to Lombok. If you look here, actually, it looks a little bit like a lizard. The lizard's head and his legs at the back. Anyway, so we took a ferry. From up here in the east side of Lombok over to Potatano, which is the port on the west side of Sumbawa. And we did a big drive all the way down the west coast to the bottom of the west coast. Beautiful beach line, amazing for surfing. And I was told, going to Sumbawa would be like going back 20 years from Lombok. Going from Bali to Lombok, it's like going 20 years back to Lombok. So we've gone 20 years, 40 years behind Bali, 20 years behind Lombok in terms of development. And it certainly was that you certainly felt a lot more, kind of on your own in Sumbawa and away from everything, away from the maddening crowd, shall we say. This, of course, is Lombok. So we drove up from Kuta here, where we're based, where I'm recording this from now, Kuta, and we drove all the way up to Labuan, the port place on the east coast of Lombok. I don't know, that took about, 3 hours to get up there. Quite hectic roads, I must admit. And we got here. This is looking over to Sumbawa from the east side of Lombok. It was late. We didn't want to take the boat, and the sun was setting, and we just found this place by random. Miwako just searched where we were, and there was a place with a few reviews right on the beach, guys, right on the beach. Here's Matt and Maylene, by the way. Matt Black and Maylene Sison, our bikes. They did a great job going all that way. And just, I can go back to that later for you. So there they were. These are the bikes, by the way, that we had. Do you remember I was telling you we got these delivered? They came just before we left, which was perfect timing, meaning it meant that we were meant to go on this trip. But as you can see, my wife wanting to bring more, I had to overload the front of each of the bike too. There's a bag there wrapped over in a beach bag wrapped over that. So we were quite heavy. You have to be careful when you stop with bikes, right? With 2 wheels, because you can't just stop and then suddenly if one of the kids moves, you go whoop and straight over. I think Miwako came off twice, but not driving fast. And I came off once as well, just on a turn, a skid. But hey, that's the fun of it, yeah. So this was the place on the beach. This is in the morning. We woke up. Look at this. It's got a Star Trek futuristic window cut into the wall. Cool place, middle of nowhere, but right next to the sea, and staring us in the face, the island of Sumbawa, where we were about to go in that morning. So this is us on the ferry. It takes about, I think it was 2 hours, 2.5 hours for the ferry journey. over to Sumbawa. It's about a 35-mile strip, so not that far, but it can get quite tough with those with the tides and the currents. This is Kai. It was like going back, like, I don't know, 50 years. I don't know when this ship was built, this ferry was built. But we managed to get up into the place where I can't remember what you call it, where they drive a boat. You don't even say drive or sail. There was no sails. Anyway, you know what I mean, where the captain was. And they let Kai have a drive of the ship. There he is again. Jasper actually having a go this time. Pretty cool. This is a little video. Let's play this, shall we? Of Kai and lovely Miwa.
Where are we going? Okay, where are we going? Yeah, say Sumbawa. Can you say Sumbawa? Yeah. This is the eastern Lombok. Going up out of the peninsula, then 20 kilometers east to Potatano, which is the port in Sumbawa.
And there's the captain. There's the captain, not knowing that my children were going to go and piss him off in about 20 minutes' time. But they were very nice, as all most Indonesians that I meet here. Really graceful and lovely people. Always smiling, singing. There's Kai again, getting down with it. I wouldn't trust him behind that wheel. And so there we go. We got off and bam, bang, bam. Welcome to jungle. This is what it was like. One thing I have to say, maybe if this was 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, these roads would have been very different. But I've been amazed since coming here how brilliant the road system is, not just in Lombok, but also clearly in Sumbawa. Here we go. Beautiful weather, lovely winding roads, luscious jungle greenery. And I don't advise anyone to film while they're on a bike like this unless you've got a kind of a holder and a good, GoPro setup. I thought I'd just show you some of the road. Brilliant stuff. So when we arrived, we kind of went further down, that coast, the west coast of Sumbawa. And this first place Miwa kind of found to stay in, she wasn't quite happy with. This kind of wooden shack and a load of holes for mozzies to come and feed on us. So we moved on and we carried on because we were driving. We were really enjoying it. Actually, Miwa and I really enjoyed driving on the bikes because, one, we don't have to engage with the kids for like a good hour, yeah? And you can kind of it's kind of a meditation. Anyone that likes riding bikes will know exactly that. There's just something beautiful about it. And, you're exposed to the elements. And, and the kids did a really great job as well. They weren't jumping off or anything or crying. They wanted to get down. We generally do probably, 30, 40 kilometers, and then we'd stop somewhere for a drink or something like that because it gets a bit, boring after about that time. Although I could carry on because it's just bliss. But the kids were getting a little bit, can we have a drink, Dad, or something like that. Anyway, we moved on from this. It wasn't up to Miwa's scratch. And I found another one. E-Homestay, this is it, little wooden thing. It was getting late, by the way. Our time management was out, and I just picked it. I left the kids on a beach having fun. It was really cheap. And then I realised why it was really cheap. There was no aircon in it. And you could imagine I was not the most popular of dads that night. It was quite tough. But you know what? Good for the boys to see that they can't always have the best rooms and the air cons and the TVs and the computer games and the iPads and then this and that, la-di-da-di-da. For any parent out there, you know exactly what I mean. But it's time for a bit of hardship. And there's Zach with his little mosquito net. What a wimp. And it was all curling up around him because it wasn't big enough. And he's got a Rubik's Cube. There you go. Much better than anything else he could be doing, I'm sure. So in the morning, we woke up. Everyone wasn't particularly very happy. We wanted to leave that place. And then we came to this wonderful beach. I mean, look at this. It's just very close to where we were when we woke up in that shack. And, that really kind of wakes you up and balances your emotions out. We found a really kind of nice resort place, which I'm glad I didn't find the night before. And we had breakfast on the beach. Really nice breakfast. Just look at that. It's absolutely wonderful. And a geese came and started to have fun with the boys. Really friendly little thing. And look at this. While I was having a chill for 5 minutes, it doesn't really ever happen, but there you go. I was for 5 minutes. It decided to sit on the plate as if it wanted me to put it in the oven, or as if it's been preparing for its time in the oven. Really quite bizarre. I've never sat with a goose before on a beach having breakfast. And here's a video of the star himself. Who would have thought? Wake up to a goose on your table, munching all your breakfast. Well, I think they gave him too much breakfast because he did end up crapping on the table, at which point me and him, his friendship kind of dissolved, and off he went up into the sky. No, he went off somewhere, but don't worry. To the Goose Association, everything is fine. I am learning step by step, as they say. Be patient, be patient. So then we went onwards. We went further down further down the west coast in the bikes, having our meditation, having our bliss of quiet, not needing to interact with the kids. And we came to this place called Castaways, owned by a Polish guy, actually. Been there for many years in the mining industry. Big mines around here, by the way, as a school that's owned by the mines, and a lot of the foreign workers in the mines put their children there. Really secluded, but you can imagine you can make really good money in the mining industry. Anyway, this guy had retired. He built a nice place like this. It really actually looks like the front of a ship or something, a sailing ship. He invited us up there. We had a beer with him. Actually, this guy really likes beer. Even from maybe 9 a.m, the boys were telling me all the time, he's got beer, the boss is having another beer. I'm like, well, he's probably on holiday. I did notice it was a bit more frequent than, say, someone on holiday. And a lot of the pathways, actually, he'd stuck empty beer bottles into to kind of create the core, which then the soil would go over the over the top of. Anyway, funny guy. And he'd just kind of like all day go around swearing at his workers. But it must be a different life over here. I tell you, it's really secluded. You really do feel you're far away. I actually thought Lombok was going to be like this. There's a little table and chairs outside of our room. The beach is out there. And I'm actually really glad that it wasn't, because I think this would have been maybe a bit too much of a change from busy city urban life in mainland China to, tropical beach life in Lombok. But Lombok really is much more developed. I mean, for example, all of the building materials that would have made this, apart from the coconut tree wood and stuff here you see on the supports, would have come over from Matram, the capital of Lombok and the west of Lombok. So, it's really, it's not, the systems really aren't in place. Distribution channels, all that kind of thing here at the moment. It really is the complete getaway, hideaway place, Sumbawa. And that's there's something in that, yeah. And a hammock by the sea. What a terrible image photo there. I have to speak to my researchers. And back we are then to this. Wanted to show you. So we'd crossed over. Lombok is there to the left. You can just see a little bit of it. The west coast, the east coast. Sorry, we came over to the west coast, Potatano, the port, and we took the bike. I'm right down here, by the way, on the edge. We've gone all the way down, and where Castaways is, it's really right down here at the bottom. So we've come all that way down there. Again, beautiful beaches. we decided when we hit Castaways that we would start to make our route back up the coast that we'd gone down. And this was, I think this was Scar Reef. There's some very famous surf spots in Sumbawa. Generally for the intermediate high level surfers, where of course Zach and Jasper and myself certainly don't categorize or equate to at the moment. This is a nice little place we found on the way up. Again, we stopped off for the night. We all fit into that bed. I think I kicked Zach down onto that side bit there. And that had a nice pool and some good food. And there you go, right next to another beautiful beach. But really, the reality of the situation was that we were thinking we could have done a bit of surfing, because we'd done some lessons. But really, when I saw them, they were all reef waves. I wasn't confident enough to take the boys out on them, I have to say. So back to Lombok we will go and get back onto our surfing very soon. That certainly is the illusion versus the reality. And as it says there, it's time to move. We thought, hey, we've done the beach thing, we've done the west coast up and down, let's do something different now. And so what do? We went all the way back, crossed on the ferry back to the east of Lombok, and we thought, why not do from beach to warm, hot sand up to cold, fresh mountain air. And so we decided to go up and see this area up here. This is this white area is, of course, Rinjani, not my leg, but the volcano in the north of Lombok. And if you go around the side, you have an area called Sembalan. I think I've said that wrong, around here, which we were advised to go and see by our friends. And so we started to make the journey up into the mountains. And so the mountain climb began, and it was really quite amazing. I love going up to mountains, especially when you're in hot countries, because, we were there and the air was hot and, kind of quite sweaty on the bikes. But when you go fast, the wind kind of helps you cool down a bit. As we started to do our ascent, things started to get a bit murkier, and the air obviously starts to get a bit colder. This is actually, I believe, when we hit the peak of the road. We were literally in the clouds, but I thought I'd film it a bit. You see, it's a lot less, certainly a lot less jungly than Sumbawa. But you see, we're really in the clouds. And it's just a lovely experience to then think, oh gosh, I wish I had some socks on, It's good for the boys to see the difference. So being on the sea level, of course, in the morning, and then being up here, we climbed to about 1,300 meters was where we were staying. So a bit of a climb, but nice to see the difference in temperature and freshness. And there's a load of chilies. Of course, Lombok is the word in Sasak, the local language here for chilies. I never understand chilies being called chilies. Chilies mean it's cold, right? They're not cold. They're certainly not going to make you cold. But I have to say, I said to Miwa and the boys, it reminded me of being in some hill towns in India. Kind of the same kind of feeling, and really kind of like you realize you're in different terrain, different atmosphere, different kind of people and houses, and just the way things are. I really like that. And of course, here was the backdrop for the pick of stun. This was the place we stayed at. Those places you don't book and you just find one and it's just everything's right about it. That I really appreciated that. I love it when that happens. And this was it, little kind of Swiss wooden cottage they built all along around the pools. And there you go, you got that nice wooded panel effect inside with floorboards. It was great, very cozy. And it was certainly much colder up here. So cold that you could grow strawberries. And so we went strawberry picking. Oh gosh, never had so many strawberries. Lovely little place, the bottom of one of the mountains. That's a nice pick. We don't normally have these moments where we can actually get someone to take a picture of us all. It's normally myself in there or Miwa in there, but there you go, we got one. Jasper looking proud of his prized. They were fighting about who had the best strawberries. It's ridiculous. And then they had a lovely little organic restaurant where they made food from, they didn't just grow strawberries, they grew other vegetables. And so we sat down, and that was a really nice experience. I fully recommend that place if you're ever around that area, Sembalan, to the east of Rinjani and going up to the north of it. So, what else did we do? Well, we decided after a few days, it was a bit cold. We had no socks or really tops. So we said, let's go and do some waterfalls. So we actually started to go around the north part of Rinjani to the west. And about, I think, a couple of hours, no, maybe an hour, hour and a half from where we were staying up in the mountains, you started to descend and you got to a couple of some of Lombok's most popular waterfalls. One of them was called, I think, Sendangili, a bit Chinese in name, and the other one was Tiup Kelep, the biggest one in Lombok, I might add. So I thought, hey, let's go and do some waterfalls. Hopefully we won't have to walk that far. And well, it was quite a walk, but it could have been a lot worse. Actually, this is the guide that we paid to come with us. I'm actually really glad any families doing this, please take a guide like this guy. He was amazing. He really helped. Would like to help him to take our stuff, and he also helped to carry Kai sometimes as well up the stairs, because there were a lot of steps you'll see in a minute, and yeah, quite a walk across all types of terrain. So this was the first one, Sendangili, I think, and we went down to it. It's just the amazing force of water, just incredible. I mean, that's pretty big in itself, but you could drink the water. It was all from the mountains, so it was beautiful. The boys tucked into that. And then, of course, we were said, well, let's get on to the big one, the big Goliath, because this was quite easy to get to. That's the same one there. Incredible. Imagine that for your shower every day. It was quite treacherous. You can see some of the stairs need a bit of maintenance. I mean, that actually there is a sharp piece of metal, as is there. I mean, oh, God, I'd hate to think what would happen if someone stumbled on there. Really would. But our guide was helping us all the way. He actually made these really cool little hats, jungle hats, out of some of the leaves there, which the boys were fascinated by. There's Kai's one. My gosh, I have to say it doesn't happen a lot, but doesn't he look such a lovely, happy child? The irony if you knew the reality. And there's Max. Look at that. Absolutely loving it. Polar difference, by the way. Max is the Kai in many ways. And yeah, he's just really into the green thing. Loves it. So yeah, they all had to have hats, of course. So the guide had his work cut out there. We carried on. There's King Canute with his stick. That was another thing they all argued about. That's my stick. That's my stick. I want a bigger stick. Dad, get me this stick. But hey, better than an iPad, I guess. And then this is Tiup Kelep, everyone. I think it's 45 or 49 meters high. We got there finally. It took about, an hour to get there. And I actually took Max and Jasper very close to the epicenter of the waterfall. I haven't got the pictures. I just couldn't be bothered to find them on different phones. But there you go. You get an understanding of the magnitude of it. And, oh, isn't that beautiful? Met a lovely Italian guy, Alessandro. If you watch this, big love to you, brother. Thank you for taking this photo and helping us. We had lunch with him too. It was really great. So wherever you are, hope you're safe and enjoying your adventures. I'm sure you are. And there you go. That doesn't happen often either. And the boys looking quite content there. Let's watch some video, shall we, of the waterfall extravaganza.
Going to some waterfalls in northern Lombok. Here's the first one down here. Jumanji. There you can see
Sendangili.
And Tiup Kelep, which is the biggest one in Lombok.
Okay, so that was the first bit. Look at this. Look at that. I didn't hold my microphone then. Look at this. You wouldn't want to fall down there, would you? So yeah, it was really quite an adventure. I would recommend this to anyone. You kind of feel like you're Indiana Jones for a couple of hours.
Very perilous bridge over the valley. Ooh, a long way down there, Kai, isn't it? It's holding on. Wow. Nearly at the end.
So we soldiered on, and what was next? well, we had streams and certain things to cross, which was cool.
Sendang Waterfall.
Actually, I do apologise.
Sendang
This was the first waterfall we got to, but you could just hear it. Incredible.
So much power. Yeah, spring water.
Yeah, so the boys helped themselves. Actually, the water was lovely, very tasty. So that was the first one. I got those mixed up, sorry, chronologically. Moving on, yes, we carried on our journey across streams and rivers and crocodiles. No, there's no crocodiles, but you never know. And I think if anyone goes to Kilep and you don't know where you're going, you could easily get lost. That was another good thing of having a guide with us. We want to get lost. And here's the Italian guy, Alessandro, doing his Instagram filming. Funny guy.
Biggest waterfall in Lombok.
There's always one, eh? Or in this case, two. And I mean, even standing, 20 meters away, you could have a full-on shower. You know, just the force of the water bouncing off. Jasper looking a bit worn out. Max, old shepherd Max.
Go on, Mowgli.
Jungle Book.
Cross the river. Watch your shoes.
Yeah, it was great. So there's the map again, which tells me we were about here, by the way, if you can see my arrow, a little bit to the northwest of the north point of Rinjani, the volcano. So then what we did is we headed over on the bikes back up to the coast, the north coast, down the side, past the Gili Islands, and all the way down to Sengigi here, where we've been before. So in a way, we've kind of gone from the south all the way up across to Sumbawa, down the west coast, back up the west coast, back over to Lombok, and then up over the top of Rinjani and back down one massive big circle. Now, before we got to Sengigi, Miwa was telling us we had to go to Sengigi Wildlife Park. I got to say, I must profess I'm not a big supporter or fan of zoos, but I am glad I went here because it's kind of not your normal zoo. It's kind of like a home type zoo where you can get really close up to the animals and there's no one around, to the point where you're like, should I be this close to this really dangerous animal that could bite my hand off at any second? And, you know, the fences are kind of like knee high, where in normal zoos they'd be like this, and electric fences and stuff like that. But so it was quite an experience being so close to the animals. These are the elephants, beautiful things. And another nice photo. Unfortunately, Mowgli there is looking away. But yeah, amazing animals. Elephants are amazing. There were parrots and all sorts of birds that you could hold, and Max, look at that beak, was absolutely loving it. Kai was annoying them. Jasper, there you go, with a snake. Look at Mr. Cool, Mr. Snake, and look at this from Mowgli Max. I mean, it looks like he's dancing with it. He's in his absolute element with animals. I'm sure this boy is going to grow up very close to nature. I can just see and feel it. Some crocs, pretty damn big ones. I think there'll be alligators. I can't remember the difference. Let me know. And these orangutans, these are classics. You can actually pay extra to have dinner with them and get them to play with your children. We didn't do that, but we were speaking to the lady who looks after them for quite a while, and he was doing all sorts of things to distract us, spitting at me and putting his hand up so he could then jump over the cage. But yeah, really quite amazing. And these were born. He has a sister as well. They were both born in this sanctuary. So as I said, we wrapped back up to Senggigi on the west coast before we came back down to where we are now. We stayed at good old Batu Belong, which I think I've showed you in previous videos when we went up to Senggigi. And what I love about Senggigi is years ago it was the first kind of resort town in Lombok. Most tourists would go there even before they went on to the Gili Islands in the north. But it's kind of like now Kuta's happening and you can go COVID and that. There's just direct ferries straight from Bali to the Gilis in the north and straight down to Kuta. So most people kind of seem to skip Senggigi now. So it's just a kind of little bit of a ghost town, but I like it. And there's some cool people, long-term expats living there. And one of them, Drew, a lovely guy from Australia, and his Swedish wife, Katarina. We've got to know them quite well on the beach for dinner, fish kebabs and beers, and all things nice. Has fostered quite a special relationship with Zach, my eldest, in terms of intellectual exchange. They're always talking about things of a science nature, and Zach wanting to go to Harvard when he's 16 and la-di-da-di-doo-doo. So anyway, they came up with this idea. Zach wanted to make a sushi gun to shoot sushi, I'm not joking, into people's mouths as a kind of restaurant type gimmick. And so I was open to it, design, science, creation, the whole kind of process of going from an idea to building it and testing it. Why not? Let's do it. Jack wasn't at school for a while, although of course we're back now. And so this is where it all started one night over some beers. We did some drawings. Zach was happy with this. Plastic piping on a reducer there. Then they were going to use a flick switch lighter in a lighter with some butane gas and get it lit up and shoot sushi out of the end. So we had a kit list, and Zach and I went to Mataram, the nearby city, about 15-20 minutes down the road from Senggigi, and slowly but surely started to get the parts together. Here we are. This was the parts there, and way on its way to being piloted. And then this is Drew and Zach. They spent the afternoon together in Drew's place. Drew, actually interesting, him and Katarina have a company called Geo Trash Management, I think, where they have a process that, again, can recycle plastics, which, again, is very, very needed all around the world, no doubt, especially here in China, biggest plastic polluters of them all. So he's doing some great things here. And, he's taking a shine to Zach. Zach's taking a shine to him. So it's really great to see this relationship and them doing stuff, putting it all together. I think Zach learns a lot. And here he is with the attempt, getting it ready, getting it even more ready. And you know what? Why don't we even watch it happen? This is Zach, Drew, and the Senggigi sushi gun. Take one.
Can I see your happy face?
He was made up, and they were trying different sushi amounts. It's still very much in its test phase, but it's he's got it here and it's up on his wall kind of thing. We will keep you posted with the next design of the Senggigi sushi gun, but just remember, from Zach's side, you heard it first here. Okay, so after that, we'd done our big road journey. We were ready to get off the bikes. And of course, we were ready to move into our place. We could only move in on Miwa's birthday. Hence, happy birthday, 20th of November, to my lovely wife. What a birthday present that was. Do you see how I plan these things? Isn't it amazing? Always thinking 2 steps ahead. So we arrived at our new house, but of course you don't just walk in and everything's done, right? And also We were thinking our packages from China, and I've talked about this in previous vlogs, and the nightmare scenario, overpriced and terrible service from the company that sent them in China. They were meant to arrive 5 days after we moved in, but guess when they arrived? They arrived on that very same day that we've moved in. So added extra things to do. There's a couple of big boxes of these, so not that much. It makes me sick thinking how much I pay for it. Trust movers, you are not to be trusted. Really despicable company. But anyway, at least it's here, although I haven't opened them yet. We got them out and we put them in our spare room. Actually, the room that I'm very much now standing in, I'm standing here, the computer's on here, and we've ordered some racks. So that'll all be hopefully opened up before Christmas. But what a great birthday present for Miwa, although she didn't really see that as a good birthday present, to be honest. But the house was. And it's been a couple of weeks, 10 days, shall I say, of just constant house fixes. It's a great house, but yeah, we live in a perishable world here, in the tropics with the weather and stuff. Everything's kind of been let go a little bit. So we've had to fix a lot of the electrics and bits and bobs I won't bore you with. But it's still going on, and I'm hoping to finish very, very soon on that. Hence, like I was saying before, just getting this vlog together, it's been really tough, this one. And I've got 5 minutes to go before Kai comes back with our new nanny, going to be making a load of noise. So I need to move onwards and upwards, and I'm sure you want me to too. So happy birthday to Miwa. Check out the rain, by the way, at the porch of our door, just to show how hard it can be.
Listen to that rain. Rain in the tropics. Lucky I put the washing in. Amazing.
I mean, we are in the rainy season now, listeners, viewers. We're in the rainy season. It's November time. It's going to get worse. And I have to say, when it rains here. There's something beautiful about listening to rain when you're not in the rain. So there you go. Because it's still it's warm here, but it's cold when the rain lashes down, especially if you're on a motorbike with nothing on. Okay, so also what I thought I'd do as we are now at home is to show you a quick video of the house. Going in from the driveway so you can get a good understanding of it's better than photos. So here we go. This is our new home, at least for a year, and I hope some of you watching this, listening to this, will come and stay with us. We do have actually rooms on the outside. Come on, let's just shut up, Chris, and take you in, shall we? So in through the driveway gate. Nice little drive. And place to park the scooters. This is the main entrance. Apologies for the mess. We are still very much getting things together. This is kind of like the living room area. There's Gens, the nanny who's starting with us. Kitchen. Fridge is broke, by the way. Guy's coming at 2 today to look at that. It's one thing after another. Here's the room with all our China boxes, and where I'm standing there's the computer. This is a little washroom for the washing, and then this Jumanji shower. Had to put some more paving stones down because it was a bit much standing on all the little pebbles. Living room with the sofa. This is Max and Kai's room. He's actually sleeping there. That's why I couldn't put the light on. So you see, very bare at the moment, not much in there. Round past the living room TV. This is our room, Miwa and I's room. And then we whacked this door through. This door wasn't here. We put it in there so we could then use this hall area. I'm going to put the office. It's a wasted space otherwise. And then this leads into Zach and Jasper's room. Look at that. They got their own beds and even their own bathroom. The Fauntleroy brothers. Simple but effective. And this is me going back out living room. There's Lobok, the electrician. He's putting a fan up in the ceiling. All the rooms have aircon except the living room and the kitchen. So we've had to put fans in because meanwhile it was a little bit hot. And this is around the side in the garden. And originally there were 3 exterior rooms, you see, you could access and rent without having to go through the main house. So now we have 2 exterior rooms separate from the house. Here's one of them, a twin bed. And, oh, look, I even show you the bathroom. A bathroom in there. So that's cool for 2 people. And come on, hurry up, Chris. We've got to get this done. Got some nice gazebos there you can sit on in the sun or at night. So that's the door that goes into the hallway where the office is going to be. It's closed off. And then round the back we have another private room where actually a couple of friends, Steffi, an intern at the school, staying with her boyfriend Robin at the moment in their nice double room with bathroom. And actually where Grandpa Swampy will be staying. He's coming out here to see us, I think on the 18th of December. So super excited to see my father after 2 years? Too long. And he's gonna be staying in that room there. So there you go, being warmed up nicely for you by a couple of German students. So, what else happened? Well, it was Miwa's birthday, and I couldn't just give her those boxes, right? Or a house for the year. Oh, no, she needed more. So I took her on a shopping spree in the big city in Mataram, and we got lots of stuff for the house, food bits and bobs. And then we went to drop off a present at one of our teachers' houses, Mr. Linger, who actually commutes 49 kilometers, 50 kilometers from the city of Mataram to Kuta every day to take a homeroom class in MIS, Mandalika Intercultural School. And he's just had his first baby, a little baby girl. So we went to drop off a present on behalf of the school. And look what happened when we turned around.
Just turning around and we got a
Amazing. I mean, this is a little village just outside of Mataram. And I don't know, it must be like 20 plus kids there. But this was Mr. Linger's home as a child. And I met all of his family. It's really incredible. Just a totally different way of, a way of life. But congratulations to them and their new baby. Wish them all the best of health and success. So that was that. A quick land update for you. If you remember in the last vlog, I took the little rascals to put the piles in to delineate our land that we're purchasing. That's basically gone to the next stage. This is the nominee Ojek and his wife, who the land actually was under, and they're signing off here with the notary to then progress the purchase agreement and be able to now transfer the land into the name of our company. Remember, you can't own land privately here as a foreigner, but you can own it, the freehold, under your company, if you can own a company, and we have that sorted now. So all good. That's nearly done and finished. And the finish line is ahead. The finish line is ahead, not only for this particular episode, but as I said, last episode for now. I need to focus on other things. And I'm glad, to be honest, I really wanted to get to 12. I had that kind of moment at 3 where I was like, that's enough. I got to 5 just before Christmas. So I hope you're proud of me, Mum. So quick tip of the month, of course. Oh gosh, how can I not leave you with a tip of the month? This time, by the way, I'm not going to do any financial disclaimers and all that crap, because this one's actually not something to invest money in. It's something that you might want to just invest some time in. So here we go, tip of the month. Yeah, so I had to quickly stop the video there because Kai, if you remember, just came through the door making a large noise. So I'm going to get this done and then Kai can come in for his afternoon nap, hey? All sorts going on. So the tip of the month this week, or this month, may I say, is something I got involved in actually before I left for China in 2008. The company is called Escape the City, which is exactly finally what I've managed to do with my family all those years later. Now, the reason I like this company, by the way, it's www.escapethecity.org, is because they were a trendsetter in terms of the HR recruitment industry. as you said, find work that matters to you and the world. Join an expat-led community of 500,000 purpose-driven escapees and progressive employers, events, courses, and resources to help you find your next exciting opportunity. So if you want to get out of the mainstream, you want to get off of the hamster wheel, kind of things, I thought about a lot over the years, even actually leaving England for China. I kind of felt, I just needed to get away and escape the norm and what I just got so used to. And kind of just step out of my comfort zone, then this is maybe a place for you to check out. The website, escapethecity.org. And so what does it do? Well, it started in 2010, which is the time when I left for China, from 2008, 2010. And they've been on a mission to help 1 million people quit their corporate jobs and find work that matters to them and the world. So they're really focusing on people, boring people, sorry you corporates, bankers, people with shiny polished shoes all day and like a belt for every day of the week, and yes, you go to bars on Friday nights and la-di-da-di-da, and you've got too many ties to cope with. 17,000 opportunities. They've really grown a lot of cool, exciting jobs. They've actually got 3,000 plus exciting employers. Okay, so this is the people looking to employ corporate people with a lot of skills that might want to do something a little bit different. And as I said, they run courses and that. They've had over 2,000 people do that in things of setting up your own business and doing your own freedom, having your own say in your life. So escape the city, choose your escape route, as they say. You can find a job opportunity, change your career, and you can start a business through their education courses. All this is really cool. I've checked out a lot of jobs, sent them to a lot of friends over the years. The best thing to do is to just go onto their website, put your details in. It's all free for prospective people looking for jobs, and you can match up with some pretty cool different things in all over the world as well, which is really, they've got a lot of London focus, of course. It's where it's come from, although I believe their offices are now in Brighton. But they do have a lot of great opportunities from, working in the mountains and the snow all the way to the beach or even the tropical areas of Bali and and where we are in Lombok. So I really like this idea. I don't think I'll probably make any money from it, but that's not the point. I just like the energy. And I wanted to give them some more, and hopefully they'd be more and more successful as the years go on. Right, questions and answers. Didn't have any last week. None, according to the Nun. But we have one from this week from a Seisons, M. Seisons. Can you show us Xmas in Indonesia? We realise the religious differences, however. Is it a holiday time? What do the locals do? What do the expats do for the holidays? I know a lot of the expats, they leave, they go back to Oz or on another holiday here. I know that from just listening to the school, the teachers. There is quite an exodus, but I don't know now at the moment with all this novidism and pandemia. But I have to say, Miss Seasons, I can't give you an absolute answer at the moment, of course, because it's not Christmas time. I'd rather give you it after Christmas, which would be vlog number 6. But there's not going to be a vlog number 6. So there you go. The Nun is giving you the answer. I'll have to do that sometime. I don't think it's not part of their holiday, that's for sure. It's more of an expat thing, kind of like in China too. And I have started to see some trees already, but generally in foreign-owned establishments. Will we do Christmas this year? Yes, of course we have to do. However you think about Christmas, you break it down and see the true roots of that holiday. There is something to say. Maybe it's not all what it's been what we've been brought up to believe it is, but it is a special moment for families to come together, as is Thanksgiving, by the way. So big thanks, happy Thanksgiving to you guys in the States. Wish we could have been there with you to help you with an excessive, I'm sure, amount of food, even though inflation is sky high. Okay, I finish on a quote of inspiration to you all. Aspire to inspire before we expire. Do you like that one? But I'm actually going to finish with a manifesto, an escape manifesto from that company I've just highlighted, escapethecity.org. And when I invested in this company, one of the things they sent me was this poster, and anyone who's been to our place would have seen this, the escape manifesto. And this is just right up my alley. It might be right up your alley. If it is, then check this website out and get involved. You never know, you might find your next great thing through it. It says, all our life we jump through hoops, often without asking why. It's easy to feel stuck, a small cog in a big machine. Don't waste your life living someone else's. Life is too short to do work that doesn't matter to you. Want your memoirs to be worth reading? Make your choices your own. You're capable of much more than you realize. There will never be a perfect time. Change jobs, build businesses, go on big adventures, do something different. And with that, if you want to be in touch, hit me up, info@jedaisinvest.com. And until we meet again, join the wave, be of service, make that change.